Okay, welcome, and let's have a look at my latest quad, the BG180 from Banggood. I bought this frame from them for about £15 because I wanted to build up some spare parts onto a working quad, and I thought a nice little 180 would be a fun fly. Turns out I was right, it's fantastic. So let's have a look at it. From the side you can see there's quite a tight fit to get everything in, but it can be achieved. These are all regular sized parts from spare 250s. I've also got it wired in a way that I can unplug everything and take it apart so nothing is really hardwired in. Obviously you can do a smaller build, you just need to watch your stack height in the middle here. So looking at the frame, it's a single piece, basically a copy of the Shendrone's tweaker but without the swept sides. It's symmetrical, as you can see. It does make for a very nicely balanced quad, and there's loads of options across the bottom for your battery straps, for mounting any number of standoffs. In the pack you'll get 4 of these little nylon risers for the FC and some nylon bolts to go on the top. I've actually spaced it out with a set of extra nuts at the bottom so I can get my battery strap through and mount that battery on the bottom to keep it nice and even. You only actually get 6 of these standoffs, so I've added my own at the front for a bit of extra camera protection and just to make this thing as tough as possible, and I can tell you it really is. So as far as the damage goes, I've sustained only one little minor chip there that you might be able to see. I didn't actually file this frame down, I very definitely should have, but I've taken some pretty harsh crashes with this so far and it hasn't missed a beat. The frame is advertised as 2.8mm. I actually measured it at 2.91 there and 1mm at the top. It's spaced for 2204 motors. I'm running the red bottom 2600s, which are just fantastic on this machine. And as far as the top goes, you've got loads of mounting options for your aerials, whether you want to bring it out with a right angle RPSMA connector or just do what I've done here and actually zip tie the aerial or the antenna and leave the VTX just with a bit of padding there. For your antennas, it has got the standard size mount there if you want to fit one of the plastic adapters to hold your antennas. I would advise against it because when you crash on the top of this thing you will snap things off. That's why I've gone for this kind of flexible zip tie and ghetto straw option. The angle of the camera at the front isn't really the best for fast FPV flying. I've got a fairly rubbish CMOS camera that I had lying around fitted with a 2.5mm lens, and these protrusions on the front using the standard camera mount are visible in the shot. We'll look at some flying in a minute and you'll be able to see that. And that's pretty much it for the frame. It does what you'd expect. It's small and agile, and let's look at some flights. So as you could see, the little 180 has already been fairly heavily used. I think if you're going to review something, you might as well put it through its paces first. So this footage has been recorded directly onto a Hubsan X4 DVR, so that's why it looks a little bit shaky. You can see at the top the little bits of carbon fibre that are coming into shot. If you used any wider lens, you would really have to think about the placement, maybe taking out that front lens support and replacing it with something else. These are the stock clean flight PIDs on an SPF3 board. I'm using 20 amp little B ESCs and the Emax RS2205 2600 kV motors. On these little 4-inch props, I'm really quite surprised by how powerful it seems. I know it's not as fast as my 5-inch quad, but it feels just as fun to fly. It still pulls itself out of a dangerous situation, and it's just a hell of a lot of fun to fly. Here I'm using a 1300 milliamp 45 to 90C battery, and I've got to say it flies great. I'm looking forward to trying it with one of the smaller 850 milliamp Turnigy bolts. At the moment, the whole thing weighs in at about 340 grams for the build, so with a GoPro, it does make it a little bit sluggish. The DVR seems to be the solution for this, but overall, I think it's a great second quad to have, and really, it's just as much fun to fly as my larger one. Okay, well, I hope this has been helpful. If you like it, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.